What's up, guys? Today is the day where I'm gonna start prepping for TAC, which is funny because TAC preps me for elk hunting season. And so I'm getting ready to get ready, if you will. So I want to bring you guys along and show you kind of some of the things I'm working on. If you've never shot TAC before, there's some things you can do prior to, besides just buying a lot of extra arrows, which I highly recommend. But come along, we're gonna shoot the course. It's closed today. We have it closed off, it's just me. I get to make some crazy shots and work on some TAC stuff. Come along.
Where there's a will, there's a way. Don't quit, I'm here to stay. Yeah.
Okay guys, so the first tip I'm gonna give you on getting ready for TAC is don't shoot flat. Get your feet on uneven ground. Most of your shots are gonna be really uneven topography, undulation, and it's gonna really mess with your ability to level that bow and stay in a T. So a lot of times what I'll do, and this is just what I do, is I'll look at the target, pull back on the target, get my T, and then if it's low or up, I'll bend at the waist and try to maintain that form. That's tough to practice, so just try to find some odd footing and take shots where you're not on level ground. Over here, I took 2 shots and they were in the same plane, 3 clicks to the right and shot and got closer. And after that shot, I moved my sight 1 more click to the right. So we should be pretty good. That was a long shot for me. That was about 90. And now I'm gonna be looking for cool shot angles that mess with my footing. So another thing about TAC is you gotta figure out what targets are they using. Like what 3D company are they buying their targets from? I wanna say Reinhardt, but you're gonna want to know for sure. So look at their website, find out, you know, the Reinhardts, and then start literally studying the anatomy on the Reinhardts, where to shoot, where to aim, because every target's a little bit different, and just get familiar with it. Chances are you don't have a whole bunch of Reinhardt targets sitting in your backyard. So you're gonna wanna at least look online and reference those before you go shoot. This is a downhill. There's no real wind to speak of. And so we're gonna pull back and settle in and squeeze it off. A little right. Another thing to note is that this sight has not been adjusted for third axis yet. I had just put this sight on. This VXR is from last year. And so I put this sight on. I haven't taken the time to adjust my third axis. So I want to shoot some steep and uphill shots today and see if I'm trending one way or the other. To make a third axis adjustment on the Spot Hog Fast Eddy, it's not too difficult, but it's certainly not as easy as the Black Gold. Okay, we got to find some uphill shots, because to me, you're going to get some uphill shots at TAC, and those are the ones that seem to give me the most problems. Just trying to, you know, it kind of messes with your draw length a little bit, and for whatever reason, I have a tough time really squeezing a good shot off on uphills, so that's what we're going to practice. Yeah, man, so another thing that I didn't remember until I was at TAC was like lube. You want to lube your arrows, as funny as that sounds. Some people have never shot 3D course. You don't want to have your arrows buried in there and struggling to get them out. So make life a little easier. Throw a little lube on it. And we're going to work on this uphill shot. We got a mountain goat at 90 plus. It's uphill. It's pretty steep. I want to, you know, get a clean break and see how my arrows trend on these steep uphill, downhill shots. See if we need to make a third axis adjustment. So my shot was there, given an uphill 90, I mean, stoked to be an 8, but that's not a 10, that's an inch outside of a 10. And that really starts to add up. I wish they kept score at TAC. I think you'd have some serious competition. I wouldn't be one of those competitors, but a couple of little tips along the way if you're preparing for TAC is like bring lots of food and water. They have knock times, so you shouldn't have a lot of time like waiting. But you do want to take your time and really get your money's worth. I know that Jake and I, we spent 6 hours up there. We went through a lot of water, and the temperature changes up in the mountains, so depending on where your shoot is, just bring lots of fluids. I pack Wilderness Athlete Hydrate Recover and snacks and protein bars and stuff like that, but stay hydrated. The other thing is I like to shoot with the engaged leg limbs on when I hunt, because I can set this thing down. It keeps my cams off the ground, and you're not going to want to hold on to your bow all day, and I hate putting my bow on a backpack personally, so it's just nice to set it down on the ground. So if you shoot a Matthews especially, get the engaged leg limbs. If not, just get yourself some sort of limb holder, and you can shoot with it on or take it off. It's up to you. Now let's look at this hallway course. I want to talk about lighting. So this next shot, it's a hallway shot. The target always seems way further than it really is, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about lighting. Up in the mountains or wherever your course is, you're going to be taking shots where you're in the bright sun, depending on your knock time, as well as shots where you're in the shade, as well as where the target's in the shade. And so it comes down to how does that affect your peep, what you're looking through your peep, through your housing, how you get that centered up. I always wear a hat when I shoot just because I like to block out as much sun as possible, but you could practice some shots in the really bright midday sun, some evening shots, some shots where you're in the shade, the target's in the shade, and just see how the lighting affects your vision and your group. Maybe your point of impact moves a little bit when you're shooting in the shade, or maybe it moves a little bit when it's in the bright sun. The mountain's not the best time, especially like you're watching this video because you want to beat your buddies, right? Like we all want to win. Like I know I'm going to shoot against Tim and Jake, and it's going to be a competition. It's going to be unspoken, but we're all out there trying to get better, have fun. But we like a little competition brings out the best in everyone. So practice these shots in the shade with the bright sun and take note of your point of impact. Okay, so you saw that 3-shot group. Everything's just a little to the right of kind of where I was aiming, so my point of impact's off. I am on a side hill. This is a side hill shot, and I love that this exposes my bubble. So my advice is to have 100% confidence in your sight bubble. So make sure you have your first axis, your second axis, and that third axis for shots like this, where even though it's not a steep or up downhill shot, dude, side hill shots with this kind of unforgiving terrain and slope will really have your bubble moving. So you'll have to trust your bubble. So make sure you can trust your bubble by having everything doped. 27-inch draw length guy here. I can't shoot that far without my vanes hitting the bottom of my sight. So on this Spot Hog, I just unscrewed this to give me just a little bit more clearance, and I'm practicing at 116 yards for 2 reasons. One, it makes everything 60 and in seem so close, bolstering my confidence. Number 2, at TAC, you can spend $15 a raffle ticket and you can shoot that target at 116 yards to enter to win, and you can't, it's line's not in, it's either in or out to win that truck that I think Chris B might have won one time, and his buddy Charlie or Charles won it one time. So that's why we're shooting at 116, is to check vane clearance and as well as to get reps for that, maybe that new truck in 2021.
Money.
We got an 8, we got a 10, and we got a 10. We missed whatever they scored this, 11 or something, I'm not sure. ASA, IBO, whatever, Reinhardt's. I think they're Reinhardt's at the shoot, but one thing to consider is if you drive to a TAC, talk to Sean DeGray about potentially buying one of his targets on site used. They sell them every year, and it's a great way. He doesn't have to ship it, and you can get a used target that's really in great shape. And maybe you can score on a sweet target, but I hope some of these tips make sense. I hope that you got something out of this. This is my 116-yard group, and we got work to do. But thanks for coming today and checking us out. We love shooting arrows. We love all you guys. We love this ElkShape community. ABT, always be tinkering, and maybe we'll see you at TAC on the mountain. Guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned something. Tap that subscribe button, because you know what? 100K subs in 2021. There, I said it. That's our goal. Help us make it happen. We'll keep bringing you awesome content here on the ElkShape YouTube channel. Catch you on the next one.